You know, it's been a while since we spoke about some DIY drama on this channel, but it seems like we have some fresh TikTok DIY drama to talk about today. Now, the main person to be aware of in this situation is a TikToker called Birdie Wood with 1.5 million followers, and as you can probably tell by the intro of today's video, this is a DIY creator. If we take a look down her page, she has a bunch of like DIY projects. She also goes to like thrift stores to find like funky furniture and stuff that she shows in her videos. And that's basically the style of the videos. DIY, thrift stores, that type of vibe. Now, the specific situation that we're talking about today is going to be a little complicated to give context to, mainly because the original video from the creator who was calling Birdie out has been deleted. But I'm going to do my best to piece together some context before we get to Birdie's response, but just bear in mind, the video is no longer available. All the information that I'm about to show you is stuff that I've seen from other creators, snippets from the original video before it was deleted, and then also like Reddit posts and stuff like that. So I'm going to do my best, is what I'm trying to say. So Birdie has posted a bunch of DIY videos. Right here is actually an example of some DIY projects that she's made previously.
I got a jigsaw a couple months ago, and ever since I got one, I seriously have not stopped making giant versions of things. I made a giant Rubik's Cube, giant butter table, giant stick of butter clock, giant wall outlet. You get the point. A lot of giant stuff.
Yeah, so from what I can tell, the whole like giant stuff is kind of like a niche of Birdie's, right? She will take objects that tend to be a lot smaller and make them a lot bigger. And then of course use them for like different purposes or whatever. One other project that Birdie has made a lot bigger is actually bread tags.
You guys, I need you to see what I built. I've been working a lot with wood recently because I've been learning how to use my jigsaw, and you guys, I made my most favorite thing yet. I am so proud. I made a giant bread clip coffee table. You guys, I am so proud of this. Right,
so the whole bread tag part of this is kind of like the most important piece of information throughout this whole situation, and that will make sense later. Also, side note, before seeing this situation, I didn't even know what a bread tag was. I don't know if I'm just being stupid. I don't know if we even have them in the UK, or maybe I'm just not very observant. We tend to have like sticky, what do you even call that? Just a sticky tag that wraps around like the packaging on the bread. I don't think we have these, unless I'm being stupid. But either way, as you can see, Birdie has made a DIY project surrounding a bread tag. And this has happened on like numerous occasions. She's made different projects surrounding bread tags. That kind of became like a big part of her channel, right? This was like a main piece that people loved, these bread tag DIY projects. So much so that Birdie has actually recently done a collaboration with another creator slash brand called Colette Bernard, and a few of the products are surrounding bread tags, right? Obviously there's some that aren't with like these smiley face and whatnot, but we do have these like bread tag hair clips and then also this bread tag claw. And in fact, Colette has actually recently uploaded a video over on TikTok showing a few of these products.
Here's what inspired my designs behind the Birdie Wood collection, my first ever influencer collab. Bread tag has been a reoccurring symbol in a lot of Birdie's DIYs. I wanted to take it a step further, and I made the text on the claw symbolic. It has her initials and her birthday. By the way, all of my designs are also available as clips if you have short hair or just like pinning your bangs back.
So yeah, you get the point, right? These bread tag hair clips, also some other products as well. The bread tags is the stuff that we care about the most in a situation, all right? Because there is another creator who's recently called out Birdie, and again, like I said earlier, I can't show you the video because it's not available anymore. But this other creator has also created bread tag products. For example, there's this bread tag like light switch cover thing, like border, I don't know what you'd call it, but the most important bit is it's a DIY project surrounding bread tags. And in her video calling out Birdie, I will say allegedly said, because again, I can't show the video, but allegedly said that Birdie copied her products. And also allegedly said that she had previously tried to reach out to Birdie to voice her frustrations, but she was blocked, so she couldn't. And this was coming straight after the collaboration announcement with Colette Bernard. So it seems like it was maybe this product that made this creator be like, right, you know what, I'm actually gonna make a video about this now. But because of this, Birdie has actually recently uploaded a response video that has got 2 million views as I'm recording this video, where she voices her opinions on the situation, and we also get to see quite a lot more like details of what has happened here. So Birdie starts off the video saying that she was recently called out for like stealing an idea, but says that she doesn't want anyone to go over and give this creator any hate.
An artist is claiming that I stole their idea, and I want to clear the air with full transparency. But before we get into it, please, please, please do not send this person any hate.
And then goes on to talk about the fact that she started making these bread tag DIY projects, and she wanted to actually get like permission or reach out to a person that she got inspiration from, the person who actually made the video calling her out. So she did reach out and just checked with her to see if it'd be okay, and this creator said yeah.
I was learning to use power tools and wanted to make a giant bread tag since it was an easy shape to cut out. A ton of my DIY home videos are about making things that look like other things. I saw that an artist had made a bread tag shaped light switch plate. So I reached out to them and asked if it would annoy them if I made a giant bread tag wall hanging sculpture. They told me, I don't own bread tags. Go ahead. So I did. Copying is a huge deal in the DIY community. So I thought I was doing the right thing by asking and never intended to upset anyone.
Okay, so as she said, she reached out first, and we do actually have the messages here, so let's actually take a look through and read what was said. So Birdie reached out to this creator and said, hey, I saw your giant bread clip thingy and it inspired me to cut out a giant bread clip with my jigsaw. I'm learning how to use it and I thought that would be perfect, but I don't want you to be annoyed with me, lol. I'm making a giant one, like huge, is that okay? To which this creator said, what? You are so nice. I do not own bread clips. Please make a giant one. I am pumped to see it. I appreciate you asking me, but 100% yes, do it. Yeah, I mean, that definitely does change things, doesn't it? I mean, to be fair, from everything that I'm reading, even without this conversation, even without Birdie reaching out originally and being like, oh, is it okay if I do this? A lot of people still wouldn't think that this would be stealing because, yes, they're bread clips, but the projects themselves are different, right? Like, does that mean that you just can't make any project that's the shape of a bread clip? Like, that seems a bit ridiculous to me. But it doesn't seem like that matters anyways because we do have this conversation and Birdie reached out originally to be like, is it cool if I do this? And clearly this creator was very happy for her to do this and specifically said, I do not own bread clips, please make a giant one. Now at this point in the video, Birdie goes on to explain that after she started posting these bread clip like DIY projects, it became a big piece of a channel and people really wanted to buy some, so she started selling some on Etsy.
I documented multiple projects using the bread tag on social media, and over time the symbol naturally became a recognizable part of my art. People eventually wanted to start buying my art on Etsy. These Etsy sales helped support my family when we needed it the most. Despite this person continuing to watch my content and use of the bread tag for almost a year, they have never reached out to me or expressed any frustrations.
Okay, so clearly this is a very big part of it, right? Because we have this creator saying like, I would have reached out, but I was blocked. And we've got Birdie here saying that this creator never reached out. Now, Birdie does actually have a direct response to the whole, like, blocking thing that we will hear. But before we get to that, Birdie then goes on to explain that this creator, instead of reaching out to Birdie, actually reached out to her, like, business partner now, right? I assume Colette, the collaboration we saw earlier, to voice her frustrations to Colette instead.
My DMs remained open since the very first time we spoke. They had multiple months and opportunities to speak with me directly if there were ever any boundaries crossed. Recently, I launched my very first ever merch collab. It contained 4 hair claws, one of them in the shape of a bread tag. Out of nowhere, the artist that I had not spoken to in almost a year reached out to my business partner, claiming that I stole the idea from them. They never reached out to me, not once, even after months of me using the bread tag shape on my Etsy and in my content.
Okay, so let's take a look through these messages, right? So there's some text at the top here saying, message exchange between my collaborator and the artist that was shown to me upon being accused of art theft. Okay, right, let's have a read. So this message in the purple, I believe, is Colette, or it's definitely the collaborator, right? There might be someone else involved in the whole, like, business side of things. But this is the message from the collaborator who said, hi, blank, thank you so much for bringing this to my attention. I will need to discuss this with Birdie. If this is an ongoing issue, have you mentioned this to her? So this is obviously a message after being first contacted about this. I take this kind of stuff super seriously, so again, thank you for bringing this my way. Is there anything we can do to make this right or an ideal outcome? To which this creator said, I haven't, honestly. I expected she would eventually do what's right and at least acknowledge me. Like I said, the original conversation, she hadn't been selling anything at all, so it was different. And when she was selling a little on her Etsy again, not cool. But it just wouldn't stop. I figured as a maker yourself, you would fully get where I'm coming from. Well, I want to believe Birdie doesn't get it, which is why she has done it. Okay, so clearly this creator's issue with the whole thing isn't the fact that Birdie made these like bread tag like projects, is the fact that she's selling them. And I guess this creator feels like she either deserves credit or I don't know, like what, like compensation or something? I don't know. But clearly her issue is around the whole like selling side of things, right? And if the projects were like identical, like she was selling like bread clip light covers or whatnot, then I would definitely get it a lot more if that is something that you had done previously. But if she is selling, for example, these hair clips that are bread tags and you've never done that before, I don't see it as much, because at the end of the day, all we're talking about then is like the shape. Like, I highly doubt that you would be able to copyright the shape of a bread tag, right? Like get a pattern on a bread tag shape for a DIY project. I don't think that would ever happen. So I don't know, I can see where the frustration might be, especially if someone has done it and it's been like incredibly successful. But at the end of the day, from everything that I'm seeing, it seems like the projects are different. It's just the fact that it's a bread tag, like it's inspired by the shape of a bread tag. That's the part that's similar, not the actual product and what it does. Now at this point in the video, Birdie goes on to address the fact that she apparently blocked this creator, therefore the creator couldn't reach out, and this is what she had to say.
They recently made a video implying that they had tried to reach out to me prior to the merch launch, but they were blocked. This is false. I only blocked them after they skipped over me, went straight to my collaborator, and then reported my listings on Etsy for copyright infringement, which, by the way, resulted in a strike on my account and ended up having my item removed. My item will be allowed to go back up in 10 days unless she can prove that she owns the copyrights to the bread tag as claimed.
Okay, so clearly two very different sides of the story, right? We've got one creator here saying like, I tried reaching out, but I was blocked. And Birdie's responding saying, no, actually, I only blocked you after you started reaching out to like my business partner and got products removed from my Etsy page. You can see in the screenshot that Birdie showed in a video, which I believe is from the creator's video, which is now deleted. It says, you are right, so I reached out super kindly to express my frustration, and then it's like a bit cut off. I assume the next slide goes on to talk about like blocking and whatnot, but then also does show this product on the wall, which is a light switch cover, right? I would be interested to know if there is any other bread tag products this creator made that do the same thing that Birdie's do, like a bread tag hair clip, for example. Just more proof that stuff is actually being copied rather than just the shape, because if this is the main thing that this creator does and it is just these light switch covers, then I don't see it as much, because again, the product is different. It's just the shape that's similar. At this point in the video, Birdie goes on to say that this should have never been public, and she feels like this creator almost waited until this collaboration was made to then voice her frustration.
This felt like retaliation and not an attempt to communicate. So yes, I blocked them. This never needed to be public. They had months to reach out, but instead waited until my biggest launch to try and sabotage it. This is super unfair to my collaborator, Colette, who has put in a ton of hard work for these hair claws and this collaboration. I have stayed quiet, but I won't let misinformation go unchecked.
And then goes on to end the video and says it was never her intention to upset anybody.
If you want to support me, my hair claws are still available. I'm sad that I even have to make this video. I would have backed away from the bread tag had it ever been brought to my attention that this was an issue. It was never my intention to upset anyone, and again, I thought I was doing the right thing. Thank you for hearing me out.
Now, after this video was posted, as we mentioned multiple times, the original video was deleted, but looking at the comment section on Birdie's video, it seems like pretty much everyone is kind of on her side. We got comments like this one saying, you better than me. I wouldn't even have reached out to ask if I saw the bread tag switch play and wanted to do something with a bread tag. You didn't even make a switch plate. Another comment here saying, I just looked up bread tag art on Etsy and so much came up. Definitely just jealous. So sorry this is happening to you. Yeah, this is something that I saw people bringing up a lot, saying that bread tag DIY projects or art just isn't that uncommon. Now, obviously, I'm not saying that this creator maybe wasn't the first person to do it, but apparently there's a lot of people who do this type of stuff now. So who knows who was first? I don't even know how you would figure that out. And then we actually have a comment from another DIY creator on TikTok called Caleb, who says, as someone who makes bread clip art, big sculptures with lights, I love seeing different takes on the concept. Art has a space for multiple interpretations of an idea. Keep doing what you love. Now, Caleb didn't only leave this comment, he also went on to make a video voicing his opinions, and it was actually mainly posted originally because a lot of people were calling Caleb out and like leaving comments on his videos thinking that Birdie was talking about him, so he originally just wanted to be like, it's not about me.
Okay, so I got this comment this morning asking me if I was involved in the bread clip drama that's going around on TikTok, and I'm thankful to say that no, I'm not. But as an artist who makes bread clips, I feel like, or bread tag art, I feel like I should talk about it. I primarily make these giant bread clip lights out of wood. You can kind of see one right here, but I also do a range of sizes and variations of it. I like to hide Easter eggs in the numerology and dates on the clips. And so when I first started posting them, people started tagging this artist Birdie in my comments, telling her to check my work out. And I don't know if she ever did, but I went to her page, and at the time she was making this bread clip chandelier, which I thought was super cool. So I followed her, and she's a really cool artist, so you should check her out too.
And then after clarifying that it wasn't him who was involved in the situation, he does actually go on to give his thoughts on the situation, and it's clear that he is pretty much on Birdie's side.
Art has always been about taking inspiration and making your own interpretation from it. I think we can all acknowledge that there is a massive difference between directly copying or stealing someone's idea and taking a concept or a photo or something and branching off from it and making something new. So from where I'm standing, it really doesn't seem like Birdie stole anyone's idea, and I certainly don't think that that copyright strike was warranted. Now, I haven't seen other artists doing lights per se, but from where I'm standing, it seems like people took this little piece of plastic and ran with it. I think that's dope.
And Caleb's not the only creator who's voiced his opinions on this. It seems like a lot of DIY creators are also making their own videos, kind of making jokes about the situation. Like we got this video here from Lacey Likes, who made a video saying that she wanted to make something surrounding a bread tag and makes a joke saying because they're for everybody.
I interrupt your regularly scheduled leopard table craft to bring you a bread tab craft. I guess I was randomly inspired today to make a bread tab craft because I just feel like bread tab crafts are for everyone. Maybe we should all make one.
And then she goes on to actually make the item. So yeah, she made a joke saying that for everybody, clearly a reference to this situation. And it seems like the vast majority of people I can see are on Birdie's side here. And yeah, I don't feel like the strike was warranted. I can kind of understand the frustration from the original creator, but at the end of the day, they're different products that do different things. So in no way should like a product being striked on Etsy or reaching out to a business partner, trying to what seems like mess with the launch of a product and stuff like that. I don't think it was ever that deep. A video didn't need to be made or anything like that, because again, it doesn't seem like to me an item has been copied. It's just a shape of a product and they made different products. And obviously on top of that, it seems like it's not really an uncommon thing in the first place, so who knows who was first. It might have been his creator, it might not have been, but I would love to know your opinions in the comment section down below and your thoughts on this whole situation. If you did enjoy, leave a like, subscribe, all that stuff, and until the next one, I'll see you guys in a bit. Alright, goodbye.